Okay, starting the video. It's going to be a short video, not very long. Looking for my book. Just to say, if you have any questions, I had 2 or 3 people asking me, right? Where did I begin? It seems so real. It's more real than anything else that we've ever heard, any other science, because it's in a more or less an explainable and exact science, and whether the relationships have anything to do in the real world. What do you call real? What is real? When you write on square paper, on quadro paper, the word is, it looks like a line, a straight line dividing 2 areas. But more often than not, we used to put the bar at the top of the Roman numeral 1, also at the capital I, we used to put that. And each one of these lines and dots and dashes and angles that we use in our alphabet are also connecting numbers. There's also, through games, what numbers are in the game, or what letter can be designed through the game. If it was baseball, one of the letters has to be special. And the special thing is it's home plate, where it's half a hexagon, although it's got 5 sides. So it's a square plus 2 sides, the angles that were angled on. Since nobody is here yet, I am going to the kitchen for 1 minute to get something to eat. I was doing something, and I'm going to get on with this video. Yes, I was mixing this up. You know what it is? A blender that mixes things up. Now you can ask that question. Mixing things up. And as you mix it up, you blend it together. So it's not working alone, right? It's not working alone. So we're going to have a few more nuts, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk. I'm never sure what I'm going to talk about. One of the reasons for that is I'm anxious to do a live when I have information. And sometimes I'll do a live and I'll get into it. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. If you ask me questions, where do I get this from and how come this? Can I make up a story of something? And obviously, if it's a word, there's a story. There's going to be some kind of mathematical story. And I want to go to what 1 and 2 is right now. Now, if 1 was the letter A with the beam, the H has a single beam. It also has 2 beams when you make it in what is that? Partially 2D. But A, I like to say the O land A's. Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Now, if we read it backwards, it can say dole, banana. Dole is doll, D-O-L. It's 1 L instead of 2 L's. There might be reason for it. But more or less that when you say A's, it's plural. So when you said Texas, you're now going plural because it says A's. You can say as is. So now what if we put, we could change this to so many things. We can say, put an M in between and call it Xmas. So there's just some play in it. I don't know where it's going, but I can see it fitting in. Because what if you didn't see it? And I said to you, pieces and parts. And then I wrote it down, but I didn't write it down the way you write it down. P-I-E-S-C-E-S. Pisces. I see it as Pisces. Pieces, Pisces, the E before an I, except after C in creation. We were taught that in school. I before E except after C, or C before E. So there's all these rules and regulations. You would say, well, that was man-made. Yeah, well, who made man? And how do we know that that installation of who we are wasn't fabricated so it always turns out that way? By not even by any choice, that's the way it is. You take a set of dice and you roll the dice. There are 6 sides. If I cut all the corners, there will be 14. There's 6 sides. When I cut this corner, you will add on 4 extra sides here and 4 extra sides here. 8 and 6, 14. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. When you look at this calculator, 86, 24, absolutely perfect. You connect 4, 8, 6, and 2. 2 times 4, 8. 2 plus 4, 6. The word cat. Now I know when I say cat, it's 9 lives of the cat. The 9 is found in the pound key. We also know we can find stray dogs at the pound. And it's a dog leg, and you can use it in golf. So now you know there's birdies and eagles, and there's double eagles. You ever hear of a double birdie? I had a double birdie. You don't get a double birdie. It's an eagle. You get 1 eagle. You don't get 2 birdies. You can get a double eagle. I think you can also get an albatross. So all these things that are man, why not woman created? Now I have a segment here which explains what is man and what is woman, but we already know in plumbing and electricity, right? That, okay, man and woman. That's what it is. But you also have man and woman. On one end, it's a man. On the other end, it's a woman. It's the way the pipe goes, right? No, it just got bigger. One pipe slips into the other pipe through the back end. But still, once it's slipping in, is that man or woman? Or is what's flowing through the pipes, okay, the man? Or is it the piping come together? Anyways, I don't want to talk about that because there's probably a whole bunch of things to try and figure out. And I don't know plumbing enough or electricity, right? And electricity is sort of they say electricity, like it goes on top. So the water, the current, they say something is, what is the current doing? Is the current bringing something forward? So now we're going to just jump on to the next word is power, electric company. The word power, P-O-W, is 54. The explosion in the sun. W-O for female is inside that word, and P begins the word, and it is the church. Although the 16, once it's inverted, it looks like 19. They are actually the inverted reflection of each other in numbers when you go 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, because we need to crisscross. We have 16 here, we have 21 here, 3 and 7. We have 19 over here, we have 18 over here, 37. So they have to crisscross. So 16 and 18 are on 2 different wings. The N and the Z, we have right there, N and Z inside the letter X. How can I show that? One angle and the other angle. You put the Z over the X, it creates that. That's what it creates, Z over the X. Like New Zealand or Zion. So we end up with that from the X. But what were we talking about? What was the letter before that? Let me get back to that letter. I'm having short wave visions. I'm trying to see where I am. Oh, right, with the power. With the P letter. The P letter is the 16th letter. The reverse is the 11th letter, K. P and K come together. And P becomes 7 and K becomes 2. Now, how in the world does that happen? How does P16, the 16th letter, become 7? 1 plus 6 equals to 7. None of this are my rules and regulations. Most of everything I do is already existing out there somewhere. Pythagorean to a single letter count. That's what it is. 1 and 6 equals to 7. But I say to myself that if we're going to have this, then what about this? The addition and the multiplication. And when you put that together, you end up with the star. I'm not going to put both of them together because you can't go in all directions. You got to swing around the pole. So it'd be either this way, with one of these poles slipping its way in, the 4, 5, 6 pole, or the 2, 5, 8 pole slipping itself over here. But it's on multiple levels. Rules and regulations from games that have been created throughout time up to today. Everything has been documented in books. People have studied it. People have gotten diplomas. People created games using dice cubes. And that's what I was talking about before. Let me just finish with this one word. I know I'm always all over the place. There's so much going on, right? We're going to get back to the A. But before I get back to the A, when you have an instinct, sometimes you turn something that's gray into a black and white reality. And stink is the skunk. The skunk is that black and white reality of your personal judgment based on the natural elements in creation, the godly effect, where you get to make your own choice. So we're going to get back to now. I said all these things before with the A, because it was the Oakland A's. Oak is the yellow ribbon around the tree. So I bring back history. The house of bait that we live in, the queen is number 62, but if you look at this over here, it actually, when you draw the 2 out, it actually can look like the, I don't know if I can flip it this way, but oddly enough, I think it's in the B bicycle cards. Let me take a look at this. Let me take a look. Just give me 1 second. B bicycle cards. Okay, I'm just taking a look at the B bicycle cards, and I want to see a B standard box. Just let me look at the cards. I need to look at the cards. Just give me 1 second here. No, they're not showing me the cards. I want to see the cards. Just 1 second. Let me go back. Maybe they'll show it to me in images. Just give me a second. They're not showing it. I don't know why, but they make the Q. Maybe if we look up this, the Q letter, images. Let me see if I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. I don't like when you just take my word. And you know what? Now I'm not seeing it anywhere. Okay, well, whatever it is, it looks like the fancy, this is the way they do it. Hold on, I lost my camera. So that's the way they do it. Also looks like a 6, and lo and behold, the queen is 62. Is if it's a bicycle, why would it be a bicycle? Would I double it to 124, or will I double it to 34? To a single digit, it would be that. So now, okay, I have 36 and 12, 48. I'm trying to see where it takes me. And I got 2 by 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4 and 4. So I got the 4 corners, all right, of this. You see there's 6 sides, but I'm going to just do something else with this one 1 second. So this is DC, and this is blue DC, cold. The reason for that is cold is number 34. Blue, although it's number 40, it stands for cold. It's DC or CD because it's 3, 4, or 4, 3. It's 1 1/3. It's either running 3/4, which is 1/4 and 3/4, reference to the moon. It's 75% and 25% representing to Earth. When we work 4 over 3, this works into 1.333. So now we're working with what is perfect chopped up into quarters and what's chopped up into thirds. This one is going to be Mars. this one is going to be Earth. So in this one over here, 3 out of 4, you got Earth. And this one over here, 4 over 3, you got Mars, the 3 little pigs, the spirit inside creation. Just 1 second. No, not a bicycle, not a bicycle. It's the bicycle playing cards. They have bicycle playing cards and they have B playing cards. It's the cards, the professional cards that I grew up with. It has signs on it. I also learned from the deck of cards that there are cards that repeat themselves in other cards. There are 6 sides. Now, if I chop off this corner, add 1, add 1. So add 4 when I chop off all these corners, right? At the same time, I think it's going to create the pentagram, right? And you're going to have 14 basic, not full sides. I'm not really sure how to do it. It would have to be done actually on this. But then if I did it on that, this piece over here, all these 3 would be chipped into. So then now I would have probably another equation, depending how much I clipped off of this. Not only that, but if I clip off these corners, what happens next? What happens next, right, is that if I chip off all the corners, right, I get 1 here, I get 1 here, I get 1 here, I get 1 here, and that's the top side. And now I'm going to do the other side. Let's say I get here, there's 4 more, right? There's 4 more. There you go. So I got 4 here and I got 4 here. But imagine, right, that you see these over here? Imagine if I can just get them over here. And if I put it even closer together, right? This would be this one over here, and this one over here would be this. And then it would absolutely just look like that. Or just fold that all in. We can just fold them all to the inside. So one fits inside the other. There was a bunch of other things I'm going to look at. We started off with power. Power, 54 is the numeric value for the word sun. 9 times 6, 54, and rotation of 33. 3 times 3, 9. 3 plus 3, 6. 9 times 6, 54. 9 and 6, 15. Numeric value for 15. But if it was 51, it would be Mars. If it's 15, it's Earth. Because why? Because Earth runs on 60 seconds and 15 parts of that 60 seconds. And what's inside? 4 and 1 is 5. It becomes 555 running through the sun. 3 times 3 is 9 and 6. So when you create the 9, we look at it over here. Here's a 9. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to create the 6 over here. Maybe we'll get some color. Maybe we get a little color in this one, and we'll create the 6. And there's other ways to design this. So we got 6 and 9, but we want to have a little bit of a formation because this is all skeleton. You know what I'm saying? So we got that here. We got that here. And we need to connect it. So we're going to go like that. Whoop, that's not the way I wanted to connect it. That would have been that's not what I want to do, but since I started it, I'm going to just see what it turns out to. What it is this goes over here like this. Remember this, the Star of David, but it's crooked. It's leaning to one side. And then we go here. And then the other one is this one over here. Just trying to see if this is what it, yeah. And then I have to drag for full formation. Did I get that right? V over V. And then you have that over here, that over here. that over here is another entrance. Let's call that entrance over here. Did I get this right? And that second entrance over here. And that's how that 6 and 9 ends up turning out like this. Now, if we take that, I'm not really sure if I have the design proper, but you would create it this way. That's the other way it would be created. It's almost like the Pontiac sign. And then you have one side, and I'm not really sure if I should be doing that unless it's a tower up and a tower down, or a peg or a wedge. Okay, so anyways, we have power, we have matter. We also have the word Christ. Power, electric company. Electric is number value. I jumped over a bunch of stuff, didn't I? Electric equals 75. Did you know that the numeric value for moon is the reverse, 57. The initials for electric company is EC, which is 35 or 57, whichever way you want to put it. And when we crisscross them, or if we put them underneath, it really doesn't make a difference. It creates 1 and 1. 1 and 1 is, for me, is an entry point from the main source. And the reason for that is follow my pen. I look at this as a heart. Follow it. There's one here. I'm going to put a heart over there. Okay. I'm going to put a heart over here. The same design. Forget about the one down here. I'm just doing one over there. Right there. You see, it's right there. There's one up there and there's one down there. And what happens is it boxes off and corners off an empty space right over here in the top right-hand corner. So we have electric company. Electric 25. The word jack is 25. We plug a jack into the wall. It'll also create, what is that? Q gate. This is so tough to explain. I'm going to try and see if I can back up, see what's missing, look at all the questions, and I'm going to get back to this in a minute because I need to explain it properly. Otherwise, it means nothing, you know. Every single word has a number of letters. It can be an odd letter or an even letter. Now, there's also many sources of numerology that you can call A, and most of them is 1. I also like to play the alphabet shift because we base a lot of things on 360 degrees. Therefore, I take the alphabet and I move the 26 letters into the 360 degrees. Now, I should probably advance them. I also use the cube. The cube shows me there are 6 sides. So instead of having A on this side, I now put A here. I start A off as number 6, and Z is now number 31. The total becomes 37. Okay, not 7 sides. Smartest man alive. Who's that? Is that the SMART test? Hold on. Over here, you see instead of SMART, you have Mars right over here. And when the S and T come together, that's a reference to something to do with pliable gold. I want to know, is it the 2 bookmarks, the SMART on each end? And then there's an in-between one where it's the ES, like the electronic spirit. When S and T come together, that is used when you say 1st, 21st, 31st, 41st, 51st, 61st, not 71st, 81st, and not 91st. The French language has showed me that they separate the 70s and the 90s. And also the 20s, the 40s, and the 60s are also different. Once you get to the 40s, you're into the mirror area. Why? Because in numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. The minute you get to 4, it equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. Pythagorean. I have now taken it like this, and now the other side is like this. And then it goes like this. and then it goes like that. And they just keep turning back and forth. And also, if you look at the roulette table, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, right? Over here, right? You see over here, this part over here, that's where 9 and 12 come together. What happens over here is why there's no marking is because this area where the smiley face is where number 1 starts over again. And this area over here that you see is the hexagon, which turns into the cube, is because it's the only place on the board where 16 and 19, 17 and 20, and 18 and 21 are under each other, and it twists the board. So you have a red one, and then you have a black one, but the black one comes in with the 0. Now let me explain again what happens to 20. 20 is in addition working with 10. In French, when you get to 90, they will say 4 20s, and then they're going to say and 10, or 11 and 12 and 13, all the way up to 16. And it changes again. First of all, it changes at 92. After 92, it changes because now we're into the teens again. In French, they separate how they say it. They categorize 11 through 16 as onzième, douzième, the same ending. But in English, they add the teen in. Also, number 13, that when you're on this dice cube, what happens, number 13, is you're on the second cube. Another thing, when you're on number 13, you have 7 and 6. Where is 7 and 6 on these cubes? Seven and 6. Here's your facing. Hold on a second. Here's your facing. Wait a second. And go. There are 9 numbers. There are 9 areas. This is an all-in-one exclusive. And you can see there's 3 different rows here. You can also see, since there's 3 different rows, you can also see that there's 3 different rows. So you know that there's a 9 area on this dice. Every face has a 9 area. The dots that you see are the dark holes or the passages, right? You notice the way it's the passages? You see that number 3 over here, right? You see that number 3? Well, let me see this. Well, this area that I just drew, right, is an empty spot. And so is this area over here and this area over here. You notice when I said I was going to cut off all the corners, I only can connect 2 at a time. That's the only way to get my cube. The other, these two, the others are free. You can see them here. Here they're cut, which means that the background and you notice the flat part is going to also show a pentagram as you keep designing. So you notice that this is on the outside, the passages, all these passages. And then it's a 3 area, a 1 area, and a 3 area. And then over here is your half areas. You want to look at it as your 55, but we can also see that it's the same thing over here on the cube, the same thing. So since we have 9 on every single side, here, 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 here. What we're going to do is we're going to look at this 2, and we're going to take off 2 of these. So we have 7 left over. Now, We're going to go again and look for the 6. And the 6 is over here. We got that. That. And by the way, 2, 3, and 6 are not the same as 1, 4, and 5. These 3 and these 3 are different. One of the reasons is you can't tell which way the dice is, even when it's that way, on its side. But you do know that once it's on its side, the 5 and the 2 will be up. 5 and 2. Even the 4 on its side. See that? But you cannot put 1, 4, and 5, 1, 4, and 5, which you cannot tell which way they are altogether. So the opposite of those is going to be 2, 3, and 6. Did I get that? 2, 3, and 6. Which you're going to tell this way. When you have it this way, the 6 and 1 are on top. When you have it this way, the 2 and 5 are on top. So here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 are 33 of creation. So now we have 6. Here we have 2, and then here we have 3. This is the house of bait. This one over here. Since this is number 7, the house of bait, this becomes Earth. And this one becomes Mars. It's the Mars window, 88. There's your Mars window. And the letter that goes with that is H and I. And the letter that goes with this one, if I get that, do I get that correctly? I think is N and Z. And note that the N and the Z can be made in a single cell. The I cannot be made in a single cell. The A, the I, A, B, D, E, F, G, H. More or less, we're not going to use the I, J, K, L, M, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, Y. These letters can be done in a single cell. N, O, U, X, and Z. The total of these letters, this is also location. This will be 36, 360 degrees. 24, 45, 55, 60, 74, 84, 94, 100, and 251 for the rest of the alphabet. 512 comes together. 51 is Mars. 52 is Earth. 152 is 8 in creation. 2 and 1 come together for 3 electric company. And that electric company is over here. So if the lights go out in Georgia, right? If the lights go out in Georgia, AI, it's inside of where George is, 5775. Also can be converted to 555, which is a passage, apparently, as I understand it through numbers, through the sun, or a passage into the sun, or where the sun is around us. This can be configured by going 77 times 75 as well. There have been 75,075 moons and an expression of creation 33. 7 and 5 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3 in both scenarios. And then this one over here will end up to say 353 and back to electric company, EC. Any craps, that's they say in the game of dice. So over here you have what is 7 and 5 is 12 is 3, 6, 3. And there's some mathematical equation, I'm trying to remember what it is, where I end up with 360 degrees twice. I'm not really sure if it's 9 times 47. And by the way, 47 is time, 47 is Jesus, 47 is energy. 74 is 7 times 4, 7 plus 4 equals to 39, representing angels, representing Saturn. If you minus it, we're back to Q. Also note that 1 and 7 come together. If 1 and 7 come together, depending on how they come together, we might see number 4. But if 1 and 7 came together this way, we would see the extension of the letter. And then number 7, we're going to have number 7 and the extension of the letter. And if I move the 2 over each other, number 7 and the extension of the letter, I end up with that, 1, 4, and 7. Now, if we're running 1, 4, and 7, then we're going to say we have 7 months of 31 days, 4 months of 30 days, and 1 month of 28/29 days, 57, the numeric value to the moon, which is 3 times AI, 3 by 19. Now I'm going to get back to numbers and explain the number bit. Just hold on a second. I'm going to try and read this. Yeah, Mars bar, and it comes with caramel. Mars bars, Cara, C-A-R-A. It comes with the art caramel. There's limousine cows. I'm trying to think how that matches up. How would math, well, first of all, how is math linked to candy? There's so many words. First of all, let's do the simple word. We're going to do the simple part. The simple part, and I still didn't finish with Georgia yet, but the simple part is the word candy. Okay? Candy, 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 C, Andy, and okay. So one of my first impressions before I even go is 3, 4, 17, right? 3, 4, 18, 22, 47. Wow, 47. Candy stretches into time. And this will create 28 and 11 equals to 39. You know what's funny is that Einstein, right, is EIN is 28. S&T is 39 and EIN is 28, which is also pretty ironic that 1776, 888, 592, 444, 392, is that what it is? Times 2, times 3, times 4, times 6. 1776 times 6. 1776 divided by 6, 296. And then 8 is 222. And 6, 14, 1 times. 14, 18. First of all, I want to do this. Cut the corners. C-U-T. Cut corners. Plus 8 plus 6 sides. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals 6 and 8. The house planet of DC. Why? Because 43 and 43 is 86, or 34 and 34 is 68. DC red and blue. Hot, cold. 3 letters and 4 letters. So let me get back to where I was, if I can remember. Yes, it was candy, was 1776. So 14, 16, no, let's do this. 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 8, 12, 14, and 14, 28. 11, 15, and 17 is 32, 39. 7, 8, 13, 24, 25, 26, 28. 1776, Einstein, the same thing, created by the numeric value 47. Jesus, energy, and note the house of bait in creation of the mirror world. Earth, The numeric value for Earth, and it's part of the Q family. Earth is number 52, 5 times 2, 5 plus 2. JG, like the Jack God, equals to 17Q. The invert to what is 17, another way to get 17 is 1 times 8, 1 plus 8, equals to 9, and 8 equals to 17. This is converted through 99, which is the Jew pi tare. So here what we have in candy is we have the DNA with the creation and the division. So what is the candy then? What is it? Why is it talking? And right away inside the candy, right, we also have the division between DC, and that division is right over here. So we have to figure out, or I have to figure out what's going on. And this numeric value is the numeric value that goes with 11, creation of the sun. The reason for that, it's the 14th letter. And in order to create 1 and 4 together, it's 6 times 5, 6 plus 5, equals to 11, equals to 30, equals to 41. How did we get that 11? There's many ways to get it. The numeric value for Mars will equal to the same as this. 51 equals this. As well, 3 and 2 equals this. The difference is that 42 and 34 equals 76. And the difference over here is 56 and 58 equals to 114. Now, where did I get these numbers? The word 3, the letter placement in the alphabet, and you're starting off with TH, time heaven. Okay, 28 and 18 is 46, and 10 is 56. 2 equals to 58, and the woman is inside of 2. Somebody entered into her womb. 20 is a division. It's a gateway in gematria. It's a 7th letter. It connects. It connects over here. This is where the moon setup is. Here's 5. Here's 7. Here's 5. Right down over here is 9. And if you take out these dice, they're going to tell you the same story. That if you have 9, you're going to have 3 and 2, 5. And when you have 3 and 2, 5, you got the spirit of 76, the void that is within the numbers. So once you do this, I'm not sure if anybody's here. It says not. We're going to go down to, let me see where it is. Here's one of them. Here's the other one right over here. So here is number 7 right over here. See that? See the 7 just below it? These 4 squares. And this one below it here is number 5. The 6 goes over the 5 and the 7 on each side to connect them. In between here, where the 7th gate is between 7 and 7, T minus counting. Here is, I'm not sure if I was supposed to split them apart, leave an empty space, or do I fill up the space? And that's why we have more balls in pull than we should. And possibly we should be ending on 13, closing the gate. I'm not really sure, because when you open the gate, we have to corral them before they exit, almost like a canal that we have. Hold on a second. Boy, how do I get out of that? Okay. So, yeah, so we did this over here. And the thing about this is that this equals to 95. That equals to 95. Our understanding of creation of the sun equals to 95. 51 in Mars is going to give you 62, the queen. Headquarters, number 8. Headquarters. Headquarters to what? To the Fox of Mars. 6, the house of 6, FOX. And what is the flip side to the cube? It's 8. So it's HQZ. But the flip side to 6, just one second. I'm just trying to think. The flip side to 6, yes, can be both 6 itself. Hold on a second. 6 gets 1, 4, and 7. And the 8 gets 2, 5, and 8. We want to bring the numerics back to their own cycle of 1, 4, and 7. The mirror, the gateway, and the passing spirit. And it ends up inside the cycle of 3, 6, and 9. 1, 3, 1. 2 and 8, 1. 3 and 9, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Our creation and our birth is at 39, also represents angel. Then we end up with the mirror, and that is 49. And it's funny that it says green. Okay. It also represents 8. So 8 will now represent what is 888, right? There's 6666 equals to 36. And then there's 888 equals to no, that's wrong. If this equals to 24, right? And that would be your day, and this would be your 24, and that would be your day. And 4 was what is what Mars is, and then this is what Mars is, and then this is what Earth is. So they're intertwined with each other. Did I get that right? 3 is Earth, the 4 section is Mars. And when you have 4 times this, 96 in rotation of the sun. There's other ways to do this. This one will connect to the moon when you multiply 6 times 6 times 6. And note that when you get to the 4th level, when you're working on a grid, right? Every time you get to the 4th level, the numbers change. The same way over there on that board. It goes 1, 4, 7, 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 28, 31, 34. That's the way that grid line works. I'm not really sure if I should go back to the beginning. I've been here a while. If you have questions, please ask me. If there's something that I haven't completed, please let me know. Fellas, the German, let me see what this is. The German word for one tile, ironic, as using the English alphabet letter placement solves a mathematical equation, ends the world hunger or something. I don't know. I do know that if the truth is, if there is any truth at all other than the reality of what the story is because of the games, the equations, etc., then we will be following a new formation, reformatting. And if all this is really true, that means it was pre-created, pre-planned before history and time. And that means time is running down, time is running out. We're at the end of the cycle. And that's why we're seeing all these bizarre things for those who can see what is bizarre and how much of it is. And how come it keeps happening is because we, believe it or not, are not actually working together. We are not. It seems that way, but we're not. What are we here for? Who knows? But we all know it's for the big vibration, the big bang, right? Whatever gets you vibrating. Somebody wrote a story that if we can start out at an old age home where somebody takes care of you, to where you hear the experiences of life before you become kicked out and onto the street because you're too young to be there, where you're now vibrant and you start off with a family and you see how tough it is. And then you end up on your own and you go back through puberty and then back into the oceans of life to where you came from, in which it all started with a big bang, the mother and the father. If they can remember, and sometimes they use the excuse, it must have been the alcohol. Well, the alcohol is also known to be spirits, and spirits usually is referred to is with the wines, and the wines of the crushed grapes and the vineyards is definitely an inside the Bible. Let me see what I didn't talk about, shapes. I'm just getting a little tired. I'm falling out of my realm. This is actually a star. It's 3, 6, it's 8. I just folded it in half and then drew around it. Candy, yes. So the numeric value for candy is 47, as was asked, and inside it is DNA. And usually candy is not always sweet. Sometimes candy's sweet, sometimes it's sour. Is there any other realms that we can use sweet and sour? And then we were also taught through different cults and their cooking of how to put certain words together. And I'm going to go sweet and sour, and then I'm going to go Asian food, ASIAN. So it's the sun foods, through the sun. I can't see, too much sun, too much sun. And then everything, if you think about Asia, more it's related to the sun, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, their flag is of the red sun. Then you can see something just happened to my computer. So then you can see that the flag is directed to the red sun. Now red is number 27, sun is number 54. Together, it's 81 Venus. It also expresses the house of Bait, B-E-T. And another thing that goes along with that is the word summer is été. Also meaning, for those who are not writing, those who have missed a conversation, you can also look at it as it was. And when you say the house of Bait or été, the summer house, living in the sun, you also come up with what is ET and TE is how it's spelled. So you have, if you're looking at TE and ET, let me see if I wrote this down somewhere. Hexagons, the extension art of the hexagon. House like mouse. Let me see where this is. I don't understand. ET. I wrote this down. We also I worked on something with compact disc and sizes of records. The house of Beta summer. The Beta cassette. Ken is always saying yes. Hebrew, Ken, or Ken and Barbie. Barbie, shrimp connected inside over here. Summer saying the ocean. Re can also be the sleep that we are in, the matter and the energy. The two M's come together, splitting of the total alphabet equaling to 91 each. When you add up 1 through 13, it equals to 91. There are 13 cards in the suit. When you add them up, you get 91. 91 is the spirit. Flip it upside down and sideways. 61 is the church. 16 creates the division between Mars and Earth. Été is summer, but I had a piece that I wrote down on it. Compact disc, the pack of wolves. Wolves, you now have Flo. You also have Little Red Riding Hood. You also have the three little pigs, which is all related to number 3. 1, 4, and 7 divided by 3 is 0.333, 1333, and 2333. Divided by 3 is 0.666, 1666, 2666. 1, 2, 3. ABC, 3, 6, and 9. Formation, 1 between 2. 1 between 2, the star system right over here, the house of Bait. These are the numbers that are left over. You're only using 6 of 8. You cannot use all of it. Use 6 of 8. 4 balls, 2 strikes. 3 strikes and 3 balls. The batter is now out. 9 innings in the game. We come into the stretch at the 6.5 innings. 6 and 5, 11 creation of King Me. Matter and energy. King Me. Put them together. The summer hat, the summer house. Broken. I don't know if I should get into the word. Let me eat a few peanuts. I'm a little hungry. The Z looks like a 2. The reverse of N and Z is M and A. Now, my question is, that is the half alphabet. I don't know why I made that mistake. 1 second. The opposite, right. That's correct. The opposite of the N is M. The opposite of Z is A, right. So now you have am, almost like an I am, right? Almost like an I am. Now, what if I did this upside down? Because this is army stripes. Have you ever seen army stripes? Just trying to see what's going on here. Is it possible that H and I come together in this letter over here? The star showing up. Anyways, forget about that. It's nothing is concrete. Just let me just see something. So this would be 14. This would be 40. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. There are 4 times 360 minutes in a day. That's the way the day is broken up. That would be 4 times 6 hours. So this would represent Mars. Trying to see where I am over here. I was also working on the vowels, A, E, I, O, and U. They're reverse, and the house they are in. A is opposite of U, and that's gold. Everything else is inside, A, E, I, O, and U. Amma. I'm a little upset that I have to keep shoving my camera on the other side. And then there's grids, where, how can I do this? Let me see if I can do this. There's so much going on. I'll explain this little part. Here's another equation. What this is this is 9 coming back into 9. The first 9, the second 9, the third 9, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth, the 10th. There are 11 9s to create this. How many 8s are there? How many 7s? How many 6s? How many 5s? Not only that, 9, 8, and 7 are mentioned in numbers 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should write this down. You don't have to see my face. Hold on a second. 9 times 9 is mentioned. 9 times 8 is mentioned. 9 times 7 is mentioned. And note that 1 here in the center has 8 around it, 1 and 8. Note that 2, the 2 on the outside, have 7 inside, 7. Note the 6, 3 and 3 on the outside, 3 and 3 on the outside, and 1, 2, 3 in the center. Or we can look at 3 and 3 on the outside and 3 in the center, 6 and 3 coming together. But when we get to 6, 5, 4, and 3, okay, there are 6 times, 6 times, 6 times, and 6 times. But there's a separation right over here, and then there's another separation right over here. And then it goes 6 times 2, and then 6 times 1. The reason for this is that when you say in French 77, 78, or 79, or just hold on a second. I'm just trying to see if I got this right. Or 97, 98, and 99. It is mentioned at 4 times 20 plus 17, 4 times 20 plus 18, 4 times 20 plus 19. And this will equal to 97, 98, 99. This one will be Mars, this one will be the sun, and this one will be the moon. After that, you have what is 60 and what is 17. Sorry. And you also have to say this, which equals to 90. That is your birth. That is your rotation birth in the house 0. Oh, Canada, oh, say, can you see? 99, 3 by 3, 3 plus 3. 99 also represents 13. And Jupiter. Jupiter, terre in French is earth. A teen 10. Here we have the house of Bate represented by INR, 99. Then we have fourth, the mirror, time heaven, represented over here. 27 and 28 equals to what is 55. I note that is electric company and we'll end up saying ho, ho, ho. The teen is 44, also stands for area space, which will be dividing up night and day, and that comes through all famous, the son of Pluto. The numeric value for sun is 48. The numeric value for Pluto is 84. 16 and 28, 44. Not only that, 8 by 4, 32. 8 plus 4, 12 equals to 44. But it comes also from this number 2. 2 times 2, 4. 2 plus 2, 4. 44. It doesn't matter how it looks. If I said 4 and 4, what are you saying? 44? In this one, it's the cycle of man, but it's the sweet 16 of the sun coming to this world, born into, I don't want to say born into the female. I don't want to say that. So this one, okay, ends up to be 7 over here. Where am I? 84, right. 28 ends up to be 1. So if you're looking for another Q gate, you have that right over here in this creation over here. Also to note that ape is number 22, and it's also a monkey. It's also go green. And one of the reasons for this is when you play the game of blackjack or 21 dots on the cube, when you get the blackjack, black 29, jack 25, you get the numeric value for sun love. They're both the same value. And what's ironic and so perfect about love is that the L is the opposite letter to the O, and the V is the opposite letter to the E in the alphabet. So now I say to myself, how many U's are there? If I have to say W, am I talking about love? Because it's only really 54, a complete 54 reverse. What's the reverse of L? It creates no letters. The reverse of O creates no letters other than what's already in the word. Blackjack also equals to what is 72 and refers back to the house of 8. 9 times 8 equals to that 72. So anyways, we're going to get back to this over here. And the reason for that is the French say 420, 420. 7 hours times 60 minutes. Mars and Earth coming back together. We split it up over here. Okay. And these are different than this one because with 5, when you say 15, you go FIF, you do not go FIVE. So the word is a little bit, the word changes what the usage is of this number. Here you're going to go 14, you're going to use the 4. Here you're going to use the 6. Here you're going to go 13, you're going to say a third. Here you're going to go 12, you're not going to say any of these. And besides that, it changes into a teen over here, and then it mirrors over here. It also divides the alphabet, and the D4 and the C3 will divide also over here on W and X, the 23rd and the 24th letter, and the numeric value is 47, a numeric value for time, Jesus Christ, area space, the division between night and day, between Earth and Mars. And where do I get this from? 5 and 6. This comes from when you look at the 3, the flip side of the 3 is the 4. If we're going to look at this at the alphabet, okay, as the third letter instead of the number, if I'm looking at it at this, well, the 3 is opposite of the 4. The opposite of the 4 is the 6 void. 3 dot, 6 void. Anyways, I'm going to go back to this and explain what this is, okay? When you have letters in the alphabet, everything over, 1 second, I did this for a reason. Give me a second. Yes, here. What happens is the 14th letter is N. In order to reduce it to a single digit, 1 plus 4 is 5. In order to boost it back up, I need to add 9. So I reduced all the way to 18 by 9. The minute you get to the letter S through Z, you now must reduce by 18. So here, you're reducing by the letter R. Reich, the first Reich, the second Reich, and the third Reich, the sun. So you reduce it. So this one is R, and the I is 9. So it's 9, 1, and 8. These are your reductions. Now, 180 degrees, 90 degrees. So if I take this cube, I can move it 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. But if I want to get to the other side, it's 180 degrees. So I'm going from I, everything that touches, to R, where it's completely on the other side. This will also create a Q gate. And note that it's right over here. The number 1 dot. It's also ironic that 1 equals to number 3 and 4. And 3 and 4 are opposite of each other. Their void is 6 and 5, which would be, let's not get into that. That would be the student, also represents 3, also represents 7 at number 65. And what's ironic about that is when you flip the dice over from 1, it's the 6. And when you write the 6 down, it equals to 52. So you look in the dice, 5 and 2 are opposite of each other, and 1 is this. Between 1 and 6 together, it creates 86, the dividing cat's house gate planet. And the 6 and 8, when you played this, you have what 6 and 2, which is the queen. Whoop, I didn't want to talk about this double cross here. When you have the queen at 62, you have 51 Mars. And note, you only can have 5 of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, it's on the other hand. Not only that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other one is upside down. The 1 is upside down. Here, the 5 is upside down. So we have the queen, and the reverse of that is Mars. So who's in control of the queen? Would it be the reverse? And then if you want, we can go 77 this way, which would the matter, the Christ, the power, the energy, because energy is number 74 right over here. And when you reduce the numeric value of energy, you reduce that number to, let me see, 36 comes off of here, so it's 38. So 38 represents gold and the letters WO coming together, or SS is 1919. It's also this finger here, 1, 2, third finger, 1, 2, third finger. It's also the 8th finger, 5 from the other hand and this. So it's 3 and 8. And if you're counting the toes, then it's 13 and it's 18. Reich, man, heavens, creation. The other thing about that is that to create 3, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals the 3. To create 8, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, 2 times 2 equals 4 equals 4, 4 and 4 equals to 8. So 38 is 1122. Now, if we do that, we can say this is 1/3 and this is 2/3. And it's 2/3 of what? It's 3 times 11 equals to 33, and those are your thirds. Now, if we're working at thirds, we're also working with 20. because we need 3 times 20 to equal to the 60 minutes, and usually that would be hockey. And if you have hockey, you have 5 players, and you have 6 players, but it's the goalie. And that's the numeric value you use, okay, for the numeric value of Mars. 51 and 52, Earth and Mars. 103 also stands for September, 7 for birth in the 9th month, and Mercury coming together. Also, 13 is for man, and the initials are JC, like for Jack of Clubs or Jesus Christ. You see, if it was Jack of Hearts, it'd be 10-8, so we're back into the sun. If it's a Jack of Clubs, it'd be 10-3, so this is the club, and this is the heart. So if you want to know, we have a red and a black card where 3 and 8 come together. But this is not the same as this, because how 13 is mentioned. How 13 is mentioned, how 3 is mentioned. The invert to this would be AG. I think AG is silver. Silver is for seconds. It's ND goes along with that. Anyways, 33 is a sacred number. I'm not sure if there's anybody here anymore. A little tired, little hungry. Much appreciated for those who were here. If you want to send me an email, you want to chat, you want to sort of help me learn more, this is my email. I won't open anything. Hold on a second. I think I have to write it again. Hold on a second. I need I'm a little stuck here. I'm frozen. Just give me a second. Okay, there's where it is. I know what I know, and that's what I know. Whatever it may be, it is what it is. We all connect because we're all living in the same space.